Okay, we're looking at page 282 in your book, 11-6 circles, and we're going to be talking about the parts of a circle, and you should be writing down the definition, so you might want to just go ahead and pause me and get those down first, and then listen and follow along. All right, so the first question is, how do you describe circles and parts of circles? So the first thing you have to write down is circle, with the definition of a circle, which is a closed plane figure made up of all points the same distance from a point called the center. A circle is named by its center, so for the example here, if you had that dot there, the point, it would be point M. So when it says made up of all points the same distance from a point, it's saying this outer circle, this circle here, is actually made up of just many points put together, okay, that make the circle. We've talked about diameter before, but here's the definition. So this is any line segment through the center, okay, this would be the longest line segment, through the center that connects 2 points on the circle. So it connects one point here to a point here on the side, and it goes through this center circle. That's the diameter. The radius is any line segment that connects the center to a point on the circle. So for example here, it doesn't go all the way across, it just goes from the center to a point out here on the circle. Now, what we haven't talked about before is a chord. So this is any line segment that connects 2 points on the circle, and it doesn't have to, like it shows here, it doesn't have to go through the center, and that's called a chord. All right, more parts of the circle. A central angle. Okay, you know what an angle is, but this is a central angle. So this is an angle whose vertex is the center of the circle. Angle AMZ is a central angle. So here is AMZ. So we're talking about this angle right here. The vertex is the center, the measure of this angle. Not all of this orange, whatever we would call it, area. I'm talking about the angle itself is the central angle. Okay. An arc is part of a circle connecting 2 points on the circle. So it's talking about from point A to point Z. If I connected that on the circle, this line is an arc. Okay, that line would be considered an arc. And then notice down here it says an arc that connects the endpoints of a diameter would actually be the semicircle. So it would say, well, here's an endpoint of the diameter, here's the other endpoint of the diameter. Let me erase this so we're not confused. All right, we're looking at the other page here that I thought I paused it, but here we're going. We've got 2 intersecting diameters form 4 central angles. So here we have one diameter and another. So we have 4 central angles, and it says the sum of the adjacent central angles, adjacent meaning they're side by side, they share a side. The sum of these angles altogether would be 360 degrees. Okay, so we know if you turn in a complete circle, you turn in a 360 degrees here. That being said, look at these. These are also could be called vertical angles, which we talked about, and vertical angles are congruent, so that's why if this is 70 degrees, this is also 70 degrees. If this is 110 degrees, this is also 110 degrees. And another thing you can figure out is if you didn't know this, and you knew that this was 110 degrees, and you know this is a straight line, then you can say, well, all the way across is 180 degrees, so if I take 110 from 180, what does that leave me for this angle but 70 degrees? All right, let's look back on page 282. All right, I'd like you to go ahead and do the guided practice on page 282. 1 through 4, it says identify the parts of each circle shown in red, and then answer the questions 5 and 6. And then if you have any questions, bring them to class tomorrow, and I'll see you then.